Okay. Let us start. So, guys, there's a video that I just released now. Now. That video, please, I will request you to share that video. It's a very important video. Maybe I should move over the side. It's better here. Okay. Oops. Sorry. Yes, the monitoring spirits video. That video is very important. I know that some of you guys have just watched that video. Please do me a favor and share that video. Please share. Do me a favor and share that video, because that video is very important. Yes, I just posted that video, and then I also remembered that I was going live today. So it's why. So you have that one is the main course. This is the dessert. The live is going to be the dessert, or maybe the video should be the main. So what should be the main course? Which one do you want as the main course? The video or the live? One of them is going to be the main course, and you have dessert. Okay, so I don't know which one. I was meant to be live today. Actually, I was supposed to be live instead of. I was supposed to be live instead of posting a video. So the video is dessert. Okay. So the main course is the live. You're going to have the live as the main course. Okay, no worries. I don't judge. It's your plate. Monitoring spirits. That is very powerful. Monitoring spirits are very... They're not your friends, okay? Monitoring spirits are not your friends. They have no business with you. Law enforcement. What about the law enforcement? Are they the monitoring spirits? They are always watching monitoring spirits. Yeah, I think that when you're dealing with stalking, gang stalking, yeah, so it can happen in so many it can be so many settings. Hello, Andrea, I see you. Yeah, so what I mean, there can be so many settings. So for example, I also see them around a lot, moving up and down. But then I also understand that there's a lot of drugs activity happening in the area. You know, there's a lot of these people, what do they call them? Some of these homeless people, some of these markets, you know, the drunkards. So sometimes, you know, there can be illegal activity happening where they may be moving around with drugs and selling stuff and everything. But also it can be a scenario where you're being gang stalked. The law enforcement can also gang stalk people. We know so many people that have been gang stalked by law enforcement. So, but as you know, this is nothing to worry about, okay? So you guys don't have to put too much energy. You guys have to understand this whole thing. The whole simulation, how it works, okay? When you have gang stalked in the matrix, chosen ones, when you're gang stalked in the matrix can use anything. The matrix can use fire departments. You may see these firemen coming at your house, you know, they are offering to install for you, what do they call them? Those smoke detectors. You know, I was approached at one time and there was, oh, we can put for you these smoke detectors. I already have a smoke detector in the house. But because I knew what is gang stalking, so I wasn't dealing with that. And there's many people that have complained they are being watched in their own homes. So they install those smoke detectors with cameras, and they are going to be actually watching you in real time. Whatever it is you're doing in your house, you know, even sometimes you have got maybe intimate moments with your wife, and they're going to be, you know, this very sick, demonic BS. This gang stalking is demonic. You know, gang stalking is demonic. Is one thing. One thing what I've really found out is demonic. Because even when you see these gang stalkers, sometimes when you meet them, I've been running into these gang stalkers. A lot of them every now and then. You can see somebody, and in your mind you're thinking, so this person, do they even know what they are doing? You know, do they even actually understand what it is they accepted, they signed to do, they signed up for? They don't even know the length of this BS, what they got involved with. Just because of money, you know, I'll pay your rent and this and that. But anyway, that's going to be a different subject for another time. Gang stalking is demonic. That's what you need to understand. I've told you, many of them, they're NPCs. They're not even conscious. They don't have any idea what they are doing. They're just going there to get some paper money. They will pay their rent and then they will buy them some phones and that stuff like that. It's demonic. You're only gang stalked because you're powerful. If you wasn't powerful, then why would people invest so much money to move around and follow you around wherever you go? You know, that means that there is something unique about you and you're powerful. It's just because they don't want to say it in public. But they know that you're powerful. That's why they're stalking you behind the scenes. Because they're not going to stalk NPCs. Have you ever heard about an NPC being gang stalked? I want you to tell me if you've ever heard about one NPC being gang stalked. You know? Apart from the number, of course, there's other things that happen, and you know, they have these, for example, they may be following around a drug lord, somebody who is moving drugs. That can be a different scenario. But sometimes they are following people who don't even smoke a cigarette. Is when you know they understand your power. So when you find yourself being followed around by these zombies, these NPCs, and you don't even smoke a cigarette, you have not had a glass of wine in 5 years, you don't have any illegal activity, then you have to know that that is spiritual persecution. It is spiritual persecution in disguise. Okay? The Freemasons. Yeah, I've been gang stalked by Freemasons as well. It's just because that I document my things. You know, I document and I know how I handle these things. But I know so many people have been talking about, I've seen many videos on TikTok, Freemasons and these other small covens, groups of covens, gang stalking. I've been gang stalked for some years. Actually, it's very strange because for me, it was a very long time I was being gang stalked, but I didn't know what gang stalking was at the time. So for me, I used to think that, oh, this is just coincidence. How come that I saw this particular lady at a certain location? Then I saw the same lady the next day, then the same lady the other day. Then the other same guy parked in the car waiting outside and watching, you know. There's a time I saw one of those NPCs. Actually, I saw this NPC in the car. So I knew that was a gang stalker anyway. So when I was coming close to this NPC would see it with the camera trying to record me. Very, very, very disturbing zombies, these people, you know. You can actually see this whole thing play out in real time. And it makes you wonder what kind of planet you're living on, you know. They're recording you like a celebrity. They're with their phones moving up and down. Zombie, they've been paid just to record you. Spiritual persecution. That's what it is. So then later on, I started to recognize a pattern. So this particular woman that used to follow me around, it would appear like a coincidence. We run into each other sometimes. And then I said, okay, this looks like a coincidence. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to switch the times. So I moved to a different time. As I'm going to move, let me try to get out at a different time and let's see how it goes. Believe me, ladies and gentlemen, that particular time when I switched up the times, the same woman appeared in a different location. Same woman, different location. So that's when I knew that this was gang stalking going on, okay? But personally, I don't take these things personal because I know that this whole thing is spiritual warfare. We're just dealing with demonic warfare. And when you start to what do they call it? Overstand. So when you get into the awareness of spiritual warfare and how it operates and how chosen ones have always been gang stalked, it starts making a lot of sense. So basically, you stop to give it a lot of power because you understand where they're coming from. You understand, even in the Bible, Jesus was gang stalked, okay? Jesus was gang stalked in the Bible. You're welcome, Thirsty for Living Water. Welcome to our channel. I see you guys coming in. Nick, I see you. Australian. Yeah, so basically I stopped taking these things personal because I started understanding that this thing is spiritual, okay? And these demons, they fear your power. The worst that can happen is you remembering who you are. Because when you remember who you are, their reign is over. So they try to push you back to sleep by gang stalking you, intimidating you, harassing you. They have at one point, they sent me a psychopath. They sent me a psychopath to my house. That is how desperate they are. So they was trying to set up a scenario where me and the psychopath was going to get into confrontations and we start to be fighting around with each other. You know, with the psychopaths, that's how they are. You know, you guys know how these psychopaths operate, how they work. But then later on, I realized that actually this all was a setup. It was a setup by these covens. I document my things. I document everything anyway. I have all the documentation and everything. So I'm not too stupid. But when you dig into the whole scenario of how chosen ones live and the spiritual warfare they are dealing with day in, day out, you pretty much don't take it personal because you see, the whole idea is your reaction. So you give it reaction, that means you give it power. So when you refuse to give it your reaction, it loses its power. The matrix has always been feeding off of your reactions. So they try to trigger a situation like these NPCs. They are going to send you NPCs and they will start recording you. I've seen personal NPCs when I'm moving around and they're recording me with their phones, and and they're like zombies. They don't have, they're like, paranoid. I've seen even some of them with cameras taking me pictures like a celebrity. You can really see these people that don't have any conscience. They don't know what they are doing. You see this old man in his 60s. He has a camera, he's taking pictures, He doesn't even know why he's taking these pictures. He didn't ask these people, why do you really want to find out about this man? They could have been fed with a funny story that they used. They have to feed them with a story so that, because these are NPCs anyway, they don't have a conscience to program, to understand what they are doing. They are not able to understand what it is they are doing or they're being sent to do. They cannot put it together. You take the camera, take pictures, make videos and this and that, follow them up. You see, tail them behind their car. That's what they do, is what they do. It's a matrix. It's a matrix, ladies and gentlemen. The moment you start to wake up and you see this matrix, how it operates, how the chosen ones have always been living, it will make a lot of sense to you, but it doesn't make you fearful. Because you see, one of the things you will realize as a chosen one that wakes up is that you will stop to give into the fear, because the fear is what has always been keeping you in the loop. So it's a loop. So you step out of that frequency, you break the loop. So is what the fear, I've done a whole video on that anyway. You guys are going to see the video soon. Is the fear that they have always used to keep you in the loops. Those loops of trauma, you're always traumatized and thinking about with this, who is following you, what. I've seen guys on TikTok, this one following me, they're running around behind them with cameras. It's a loop. And the more you pay it attention, the more you give them power. Okay? So, like I've told you, I personally know the game. I know how it goes. I know how they do it, why they do it. I know the tricks. But I'm not giving them power. I don't give them that energy, the reactions they need, because they are looking for the reactions. You getting paranoid and confused, and is why a lot of times people, they kill themselves, because what they are trying to do, they're trying to set you up so you can now get too frustrated and you're going to take your own life, so that they're going to say, oh, they took their own life, they was depressed. But behind the scenes, they were sending people to gang stalk you and to harass you. So you get fed up of everything and you take your own life. Now they're going to write, oh, somebody took his own life. Somebody took his own life. It's why you see nowadays, when a person takes their own life, I look beyond the veil, because there's a reason as to why they took their own life. Did you actually know that there are some people that are being gang stalked in their own homes? They can sometimes pay your partner. It's why sometimes, if I've told you, a lot of chosen ones, they are being set up with these counterfeit relationships. They're setting you up with these NPCs. So these NPCs, they're going to be with you in the house. They're watching you, who is calling you, what time you get in the home. They're the ones gang stalking you, your own partner, wife or husband. It's an NPC. And they're using that NPC to gang stalk you in your own house. So when you're talking about being chosen ones, many people don't understand. This thing is not fairy tales. It's not stories. And it's not conspiracy theorists. They are real people going through spiritual persecution because of the nature of their mission, the nature of their assignment. Don't forget to hit the like button, share, subscribe, super chat me, drop a comment. I'm watching everything in real time, so it's live. It's not a recorded video, and I'm watching everything here. A new day, I see you. Yeah, Mr. Buzz. I was able to go there to check Mr. Buzz's channel. I didn't check all the videos, but Sila, I see you. Good morning. Is it good evening? Yeah, good evening. Good evening, Mahmoud, Danjaj, Andrea, Vanessa, I see you. Larry Lavan, I see you. Why do they do that type of behavior? I think that is the question I cannot answer. I cannot answer it in a way that I understand, but all I can say, yeah. So a lot of people have been dealing with these things. I hear so many comments with these Masons and everything. Like I've told you, I've dealt with some of them, and but you always have to understand that you need to be on top of the game, my chosen ones, ladies and gentlemen. You have to be on top of the game. You need to start documenting things, take pictures, take videos, keep the records, keep the receipts. Okay, you have to be ahead of the game as well, because these individuals, they want to set you up to kill yourself, to commit suicide, and then they're going to write in the news that, oh, there's a Asian man killed themselves. They threw themselves off of the building, but they will not tell you the people that was behind that thing. Okay, so a lot of you guys who are following those news, those are the things they will be telling you. So one of the things that you will understand when you start awakening, it will be how everything has always been upside down from day one, and you was never able to see this. All the things you knew to be true, the world that you knew was not the world as it is. Everything has been inverted. You've always been living in an inverted reality. The things they used to tell you was nice, they were useless things. And then the useless ones they told you was horrible, they was the good things, you know. Many years ago, many people used to think spirituality is witchcraft, is evil. Because, you know, you're reading your Bible, you go to church and you pray and you drink the body of Christ and everything. Now you're waking up and you're realizing that spirituality was the real deal. Okay, so when you start to see these things, how it has been playing out for the longest of time, it makes so much sense, okay, because now you can look through the veil. So whenever somebody makes a conversation with you, you can see beyond the mask. It is very easy for you to see beyond the mask. You can see their intention. Okay. Navprit, how are you? Navprit. You can see their intentions, you know what they're looking for, you know what they're thinking about. It's too easy. Monk mode, popcorn, yellow straight smile. See? So, at some point, chosen ones, you realize that you're waking up and you're seeing everything for what it is. And one of the things I noticed as well, you cannot unsee it. You know, this is something you wake up and you start to see the real truth, and you're wishing that you went back to sleep, and you can't. Because the moment your eyes open and you start to see the truth for what it is, you can't go back to sleep. So what now happens, like I remember many years ago when I woke up, so I remember reaching out to people. There used to be some people in my circle. I never used to talk to a lot of people, but there were some people that I knew at the time. And then, Navprit, where are you from? So I remember running around that time. I remember running up and down. I was very excited. You know, one of the things that happened when you wake up, especially after narcissistic abuse, when you awaken, you get very, very excited. You want to tell the whole world. You want to show them everything. So I was running up and down. I was running like a rabbit. So I started calling family members. Hey, listen, guys, you know, you see, this is what is happening. This is what I was screaming. I was screaming on top of my voice. So I was screaming on top of my voice at the time. I was telling people, guys, listen, this is what is happening. This is what is happening. Because you see, one of the things that happened when I woke up at that time, I remembered a lot of things. I started remembering my childhood. I remembered things that I didn't even know that I went through. These things, something just lifted off of my brain. Information started coming in. So I started remembering things. I said, what? The things that I was never able to understand many years ago, everything I could remember. So now this was very overwhelming. So what I did, I started to reach out to people, family members, friends. Guys, listen, this is what is happening. That is what is happening. This is what is happening. And the people was like, what is happening to Denzel? What are you saying? Huh? What? You say what? Narcissist? What is narcissist? What is this? What are you talking about? I say, guys, it's narcissistic abuse. This is what happens, and that is like this. This is what they do. I was seeing everything in real time. The people thought I was crazy. What are you talking about? We feel we don't know what you're saying. Your language is different. We don't know what you're talking about. So in the Bible, there is something they used to call speaking in tongues. So there's something they call speaking in tongues. Speaking in tongues is when you are talking about things that other people don't understand. It feels like you're talking about an alien language. That is what it feels like. So that is why I was struggling. And a lot of you guys chosen ones, when you wake up, the first thing you do, you're trying to tell your family, friends, your members, your family, your friends, your parents, your relatives, everything, and they don't understand you. And they're going to be like, what? What is this person talking about? What are you talking about? We don't understand what you're saying. Explain, oh, you're confusing. People, they feel like you're confusing them even more and more. You see? And then as the time goes on, you're starting to realize, oh, okay, it is not their time. They cannot understand you. They cannot read your language. It's not their time yet. They are still asleep, you know? You're like, oh, I can understand now. It's not their time. They don't know what I'm saying. And you pretty much, you know that it's not their time. They don't get you. You see? And then later on, as you go deep into your journey, you stop to judge people because you understand they're walking their own path and they are on their own frequency. Okay? They're not yet conscious the same way that you are. So they're in their own time, slowly, they are growing, they're learning, but they're not like you. Are you following? And then you're like, okay, I'm gonna leave them where they are. It's okay. No, you don't. Guys, this is a very respectful channel. So I don't believe in vulgar language. We don't use vulgar language here. We have a lot of respect. So So when I see these vulgar words, I'm going to remove them. We want to be clean, neat, respectful. So there are comments I cannot allow. Okay. Here we don't have egos here. Okay, we don't have egos. It's love and light, awareness, enlightenment. We don't use bad language. Okay. So don't try to write things that even me I cannot put out through my mouth. Please. Okay. Respectful, loving. We are humble people. We just come here to share knowledge. So like I've been telling you guys, I was sharing with I was telling people, many people at the time, you know, hey guys, listen, narcissism, no, you guys need to understand, narcissism is like this, what? I was explaining to them. So the people, they thought I was crazy. I remember my narcissistic parent at the time. My parent told me to go and see a doctor. He told, you know, as I see, you have to be having something going on in your mind. There's something wrong with your brain. So you have to go and see a doctor. So now I was there sitting and I was thinking, so what is wrong with me at the time? You know, I've been gaslit for the longest of time. You know me, I'm a very honest person. I don't want you to come here and I try to tell you different stories because I want you to feel good. I tell you as it is. Okay, I tell you the experience as it has been. This is an authentic channel. I tell you the truth. So now I was sitting down there at that time and I was thinking, so why does my father think there's something wrong with my head, my brain, or whatever? So I was there sitting down and I was thinking. And then something clicked in my mind. I said, I get it. It was not me. It has never been me since then. It has always been a projection, you see, because those people, they project a lot of stuff onto you because they want you to carry their baggage. So now I was realizing that for the longest of time, I had been carrying so many baggage that I didn't even know didn't belong to me. So me, I used to think that it was my problem. Oh, you have a problem with your head. Oh, so if at the time I wasn't awakened, I could even go and get help. You know, I could go to get help from a doctor because my father said I had something wrong with my head. Then I realized there was never anything wrong with me. Everything was okay. It is the other person who had the problem. Do you know the relief you get the moment you realize it was never your problem, it was never the problem? Do you know that relief, something that just lifts off of your chest? The moment you figure out that it was never about you from day one. You never had a problem. There was projection of things that were being projected onto you so that you can carry other people's weight. You were never the problem. Do you know how good you will feel the moment you realize that? And then you figure out that the people that told you that you had a problem, they was the one with the problem in the first place. It was never you. So when you wake up one day and you start explaining these things to people, your family members, the very first thing you hear, you're crazy. Where's my tea? So guys, one thing that I've realized, why you see me doing lives these days, is because live energy is a different form of healing, okay? I do the videos, sometimes I post, but I realize that these lives also is a different energy altogether. So I help you to activate your healing. When we interact, we share things together, okay? It's a different type, it's a different vibe altogether, you see? So So when you start explaining things to people, the first thing they will tell you is that you have a problem. Something wrong with you. Go check your head. Go to a doctor. Go to a psychologist. Go to a therapist. You crazy. You're too sensitive. Or you're too emotional. You know? You'll hear your family members telling you that, oh, you think too much. You overthink everything. Because you know why? They don't want you to think. Because when you think, you will also put them in that, you will figure out what they're all about. The more you think, the more you figure them out. So they don't want you to think too much, because when you do think too much, you'll catch up on their BS. So you're too emotional, you're thinking too much, you're too sensitive, Why don't you be like everybody else? Just sit down and listen and this and what and observe and comply and that kind of stuff. It was never your problem to start with. There is something you need to understand, ladies and gentlemen. So the ones who are booking the session, that's the email. If you want to book a session, that's the email. If you want to donate, support me, that's my PayPal, or you can super chat. And then for the ones who are just coming in, let me put here the info so that everybody can see it. I'm going to put it on the screen. So you guys are following the story. Okay, so the information is down there. Sessions or so we're together, guys. F. Markion, I see you. Gordon, I see you. So for the longest of time, I've been doing videos. I've produced videos non-stop for the last year. But then I realized that actually, even when we do these lives, they help us to heal. Okay, lives help us to heal. We chat a little bit, we talk, we share different ideas. So this interactive, it helps to heal with healing. Okay. Vanessa, I see you. So one of the things you're going to realize, chosen ones, with these evil people, they are going to try anything they can to stop you. You're going to see covens. They are running after your star. They want your destiny. They want you frustrated. They want you lost, abandoned, homeless, jobless. Is where you know who you are. When you see people running after you like that, that is exactly confirmation of who you are. They are afraid of what you represent. They are scared and afraid of the divinity in you. Are we together, chosen ones? So usually, when you're the only one that is awakened in your family, it gets harder a little bit. You have members that they think you're going you're going insane, you're crazy, you've lost it. Even some of them are going to avoid you. There's some members in the family, they will avoid you. The moment you start talking, they're going to leave. They don't want to hear it because that stuff is scaring people. Are we together? So, everybody that you have seen running after you up and down, they have been after your soul. That's a good comment from Gordon. You know, I've done a video actually, and that video was called "The Battle for Your Soul." I think that video was 3 years ago. You know, so for most of you guys who are just coming in, when you go back and you start looking back in my videos, you're going to see. You will see a lot of content I used to share that can help you. Lisa Rosita, I see you. Zoe, I see you. You know, Guys who are from the United States, I want to know, because there's a reason as to why I'm asking this question. I have a lot of followers from the US, but I don't know the best time you can catch these lives, because I want to know that we are aligning properly. So for you, what is the most convenient time for you to watch these videos? Because there are sometimes I'm on live and people maybe at work, or I don't know, they are going somewhere. What would be the best time for you to catch a live when we are live? What is the best time for you? So I can match it up with my time, and then, I can go live when you guys are more probably comfortable, you're not in work or something. What is the best time? I've always wanted to know. We have a super chat from, let me scroll down here. Joey Itama, thank you for that super chat. $555. So when the DNA upgrades, the dimension shifts. So if you want to do it, a DNA upgrade or repair, I recommend the frequency 5 to 8 hertz. I think that's the one, if I remember well, that's the one for DNA upgrade. So if you have been messed up over time, you've been struggling with different things, and your energy is all over the place, try to listen to 5 to 8 hertz frequency. It can also help with DNA upgrade. Otherwise, you can do the normal natural ways, I don't know, grounding, meditation, prayer, whatever it is you can do. The normal healing methods, okay? So thank you for that super chat. That was from Joey Itama. So Rebirth says 4 p.m. So which means 4 p.m. So it's around 10 o'clock here, maybe 9, 10. See, that's the thing with this time difference, There's many people who want to see these lives, but, well, one p.m. Central Time, so 1 p.m. Central Time is 1 p.m. in the US. So that means that some people can like it now, some people in the evening. Either way, these lives will always be, because when I do these lives, I'll still put them on the channel. So if somebody misses it, they can always go and watch those videos. So there is something what you guys have to understand. When you are the person that is awakened in the family, it is very difficult to wake other members up. 6 p.m. Shandy. So people have like different time zones, 6 p.m., 7 p.m., somebody 4 p.m. I'm going to put a poll. So I'm going to put a poll on the platform, and I'm going to ask. Everybody will put their time, and I will see, especially the US, because I have 80% followers from the US. 80% that are following me is from the US. My subscribers. So I will put I will share it on the platform, and everybody will put a different time, and I will see the most popular time we could work with, I will work out the average that we could use, so that we can get, because you see now we are live, and there's people who is in work, for example. It could be 2 o'clock somewhere, they're in work, and maybe they're in town. So I need to know, to get a good balance where people is at home and they're able to catch up, and we are, It's nice to have these lives when you're free. You know, you're not rushing and hurrying and looking if your boss is coming from the corner, that kind of stuff, you know. So we have peeps are jealous of our good hearts. So work. $22 more freestyle. You appreciate it. So if you guys want to super chat me, if you like my stuff, you are very welcome to do so. I will very much appreciate it. When you have a member who is awakened in the family, when one member of the family is awakened, it means, as a good person who wants everybody to see, or maybe to understand what you understand, you're going to want to wake other people up, especially in your family, because you see, one of the biggest, the places where you are going to put a lot of energy and attention is going to be your family, because you want them to wake up. You see? I remember back in the days when I was talking to my family, when I woke up, I almost wanted to slap them. I almost wanted to slap them because I was like, hey guys, you have to wake up at any cost. I was pushing, I was forcing, I was dragging. Listen, this is what is happening. I was screaming. I was screaming. And they was like, no, no, no. We don't know what you're saying. We don't hear you. I wouldn't believe it. I could not believe it. They say, we don't hear you. We don't understand what you're saying. So I remember one of the family members told me, these days your English is, you know, I don't know, we don't understand what kind of English you're speaking, you know. So that's when I knew that, oh, I get it. They don't hear me, you know. I was thinking they would hear me, but then when one of the members told me that you're speaking a strange type of English, scary kind of type of English, we don't know what you're saying. It feels like you're reading from a different dictionary. So that's when I knew that, okay, I get it. They don't get it. They don't understand me. So what you do now, my chosen ones, basically, you just have to let them catch up in their own time. You let them catch up in their own time, because when you try to force them and to push it too hard, it is going to confuse them. It will, I can promise you, it's going to confuse them. So let them evolve patiently. Let them catch up slowly in their own time. Because at the end of the day, you are still the one with the truth. So they are very slowly going to come on gravitating towards you, and they're going to ask for your help. At one point, you will see they will call you. Hey, listen, Catherine, can you explain to us, you know, I see this is what is happening. Please tell us what is going on. Then now you can tell them, because that time they are ready. Have you ever tried to, let me give you an example, something easier to look at. Have you guys ever tried to wake up somebody who has been very deep in their sleep? Do you know what is the first reaction they have for you? When you wake up somebody very, you know, And the person is like, why did you wake me up? What is wrong with you? You know, they was too comfortable in their bed. You're trying to wake them up. Hey, it's time to go to work. Maybe it's time for school. And they're going to be angry. Why did you wake me up? That's what it feels like. That is what awakening feels. So when a person figures out that you're trying to show them something and they cannot even process it in their mind because they're not at that level yet, it's going to make them angry and it's going to trigger them. And they're going to be pissed at you for showing them things that they're not ready to see. You guys are seeing how it works. The people that are not awakened, wish them well. Pray for them, wish them well. They will come. Be there for them. Don't judge them because they are not awakened. Don't judge them. Because remember that at the end of the day, you was one time like them. You was sleeping like them. You didn't know what was happening. Then you woke up. So it was your time. But when you see family members that are not yet ready, awakened, don't judge them. The only thing you can ever do, be there for them. You know, maybe you can show them one or two things, one step at a time. Let them catch up slowly, because this is consciousness. Consciousness is very heavy and intense. This is spiritual, it's beyond the 3D. This is something is operating on a different plane. It's something that is spiritual, okay? Different dimensions. Is why I've told you in the Bible, you guys who are going to church, you had people talking about speaking in tongues. So that is the language you're talking about. You're speaking in tongues. Is why people don't understand. Even you guys who are going to church, when you hear somebody that is speaking in tongues, it's going to confuse you. You don't know what they are saying. You guys know how these Baptist churches and everything. They're going to be talking about, you'll be thinking they're talking about a language you never heard before. Even them, they don't know what they are talking about. So that is what they mean, speaking in tongues. When you are awakened, you are speaking in tongues. People can hear the sentences you make, but they don't understand. They cannot process what you're trying to say because you have already moved to a different timeline where you are speaking a different language. The language of the awakened ones, the conscious ones, okay? You're starting to move into that territory of the conscious beings. You're remembering who you are. And now you're starting to remember the language that you've always spoken, that is most authentic to you. It has always been, you just forgot, but you remember. So now when you start to speak, the people at the back, by the time you finish speaking, they're already sleeping. They didn't even hear what you were saying. So if you're in class and you're speaking this language, you may look back and all the students are sleeping. They're not even bothered with what you're saying. They cannot hear you. It's a different timeline altogether. It's the reason why you struggle to make friends. You might find yourself struggling to make friends. You might meet some people and, you know, maybe they like you, maybe you like them, you like each other. Okay, come on, let's go hang out. Let's go have a coffee, whatever. But the moment you start speaking, you start talking, they'll be on their way. They're like, this guy looked like a nice man, but they are talking about something we don't understand. So they're going to give you a distance. In most cases, I've told you, you're going to be called the crazy one. People are going to think you're crazy. Are we together, guys? Tiza Tabait, I see you. You have our sticker. Guys, thank you, the ones that have always supported me. it gives me motivation, you know, when we support each other. I teach you, you help me, you share, maybe you like, maybe comment, maybe, you know, super chat me, you know, it gives me motivation as well as a creator. So I see some people have our stickers as well. People have got our merchandise as well. We have some merch. There is some merchandise there is as little as $5-6 or something. You could go there and support me. You know, maybe buy something small for your cat, maybe for your dog. Recently we had Anneli bought something, a small T-shirt for her dog. I know it was a teddy bear, I think, or something, teddy bear, if I remember well. So that's the different ways you can keep this channel going, you know. Rita, I see you from Kenya. Rita. We have Jasco from Ghana. Blessings. Kibi Hicks, I see you. So one of the things you realize is you're going to figure out that you cannot save everyone. You cannot save everybody. Everybody's at their own level. They are going through their own, they're in their own timeline, going through their own process. So when you wake up, yes, I'm not saying that everybody will not understand you. There will be people that will pick up on what you're saying and resonate. It's like, for example, the videos I'm doing. Many of you guys even understand what I'm saying. It's not like I'm speaking a foreign language, because you can pick up, oh, that's what it means, that's what it means. You pick up one or two, you learn, and, you know, you elevate, you grow, you know. But there is people, no, they're not there. You can imagine when you're talking about these things to an NPC. How do you really think that somebody who is not tapped in, they're going to sit down with you and have a conscious conversation with you? You're going to make their head spin. It's why you hear me sometimes I'm telling you that these videos are not for everybody. There is people that try to consume this content and their head is going to spin harder and harder, because this is something from a different timeline. So I allow the ones that are ready to come. Okay, I allow people to come naturally. I've grown this channel organically. I never bought any views. I never forced anybody to subscribe. I've done everything organically on my own, because I realized when I was doing this thing that it is a type of content that not everybody understands. So what I did, I said I don't need to buy views. You know, there's some people on YouTube, you see them buying views because they were struggling to be famous. You know, when you're authentic and you do your things organically, the right ones will come. So you don't have to push it too hard, even for the wrong people to come in. So there's no meaning for me to have, let's say, for example, 1 million subscribers and maybe like only 5,000 understand what I'm saying. You know, so I let it to grow naturally. I allow the channel to grow naturally. The ones that are ready, the universe is going to bring them slowly, one by one. They will find us. We are here. We have been here last 6 years. We are still here. So I don't force this kind of thing. Oh, hey, you know, this and this. I will tell you, in most of my videos, when I say, if that stuff resonates, then please share, subscribe, or like. But if it doesn't resonate, keep on going, because there can be some channels, other channels, which may be talking about the things you understand. You see? So if I force you to like, share, you're sharing things you don't understand, no. The ones who get it, they will get it. So they are the ones that are able to share that content. See? So I allow it to just grow organically. No pressure, no forcing, no pushing. So we have some new people I see here. Tommy Hodgson. Some people are just joining us. You're welcome. Subscribe. If you just come in, subscribe. New York, USA. Franklin, I see you. I'm going to highlight some of your comments so that they will be seen by other members as well. Yeah, so you guys, you see what I mean? A time is going to come and you will wake up and you are going to wish your children was awakened as well. And it's not possible. Your children, you may be a parent there, you have got your kids, you're awakened, you're starting to understand this matrix, everything, what is happening, and your children, they're still asleep. And you're hoping, you're wishing, you're praying your children can understand your language, what you're saying. They can't. This is stuff that is beyond the physical. Okay? When we're talking about spiritual warfare, we're talking about things that you do not see with your naked eye. It is just things that a few people will understand. Recently, I told, there was was it in a video or I was talking to somebody, I don't remember, I think a couple of weeks. So I was talking about family and I said, even some of the family members, they are NPCs. That is the most brutal and painful thing I've ever had to discover. When you wake up and you realize that even some of your family members, they're NPCs. They always was. Even some of your parents are. That is the most brutal truth a person will ever have to come across. The moment you figure out that even some of your members in the family, they're not conscious, is why you was, ever since you was young, they was fighting with you tooth and nail. Your parent fight with you, your mother fight with you, your brother fight with you. You don't know what you did. You don't have any problem with them, but for some reason, they don't like your energy. So if you want to know NPC, Bash, go and check in YouTube. You just write NPC, you'll see the videos will come in. There's many people who talk about those things in detail. So you have been growing up because you are the conscious one. You're the only real person in the family. Maybe there was 2 or 3 of them in the family. So they used to fight with you and you never understood why they never liked you. What is wrong with you? Shut up. Go sit down over there. Hey, you. They always wanted you coiled in a little box. Do you know why? That was because some of them is NPCs. They're not conscious. They don't know what is happening. They don't know what time it is. So your energy, the video that I did, I've done videos, guys. I've done really powerful videos. If you guys follow me and you go back 3-4 years, you will see the real stuff. Now these days, I'm kind of like watering it down a little bit because we have kind of evolved from that energy. But those videos that I've been sharing, those 3, 4, 5 years ago, go there, you'll see. They are there. There's 1,400 videos on the channel. I said in the family, actually, you are the uninvited guest. The black sheep, the conscious one, the awakened one. So when he was struggling around with family, and they couldn't figure you out or understand you, and they used to struggle and fight with you, that is because you are the ones that had a real soul. Your family members was NPCs. The moment I discovered that thing, when I awakened and I started looking through people, and I say, oh, I could see. You see, when you awaken, you see. So it is like this pair of glasses. You're wearing these glasses. You can see through people. You can see everything in detail, in broad daylight, in real time. You know. So they couldn't understand your language. So they now started fighting around with you many times because you guys was operating on different timelines. So you wish them well, you love them unconditionally, you have a lot of love, respect for them. You understand that they are, what is that word called? It is not something that you did, so it had nothing to do with you, but they are also being trapped in cycles. You see, they've been struggling with generational cycles. Many of them are drug addicts. Some of them are alcoholic. Some of them are sex addicts. Some of them are narcissists. And there's nothing you can do. But then you being the chosen one, you see, then you become the one that is going to actually break the cycles. So you become the cycle breaker because you're the only person that is conscious. Is why? Because you have a conscious, you can talk about things that buzzes, you know, it can make their head spin because you're talking about things that they don't understand. You know, because you see, when you're talking to an NPC, they don't process information like you. So you may meet them in the corridor. After having a conversation, you will meet them in the corridor, and they'll be talking to other family members. Hey, did you hear? Did you hear Denzel? Did you hear Denzel? What Denzel was saying? Don't you think that Denzel needs a doctor? Don't you think that Denzel needs to go to a therapist? So they are going to start to think you're crazy because they are NPCs. The only thing they understand is doctor, medicine, tablets, medication, therapy, psychologists, hospitals. They don't understand consciousness. So you are in the family with these people. The divine has placed you strategically so you can help them to break the cycles. But you see, when you become the cycle breaker, you are the problem. Are we together, chosen ones? So do you see why your mission is hard? Do you really understand now why your mission has always been hard from day one? That is exactly what was happening. It has always been about your frequency. is why I've told you in some videos that not everybody is going to wake up in this lifetime. So it is not everybody can wake up. It's not possible. Okay? NPCs, they will not wake up. They are not going to wake up. To wake up to what? What are they waking up to? Anybody who lacks a consciousness, they will not wake up. Yes, there will be some few things you could tell them. They may almost try to figure it out a little bit, but they cannot get to that level of understanding. The same way like you do. So it becomes your duty to allow the ones that are meant to receive enlightenment to gravitate towards you. You cannot force it, you allow it to happen naturally, organically, authentically. And the only way you can let this happen is by moving and walking in your authenticity. When I started this channel, I remember there's a lot of people who used to fight around with me. You see these religious people? Those churchgoers, the Bible scholars? Oh, you don't believe in Jesus. Jesus is the only way, the truth, the light. And you see me, I don't fight with religion. I don't have any problem with religious people. They go to church, they worship what they worship. There's no problem. Me, I'm a freestyle person. So sometimes it was hard for me to explain to people that I'm an old soul. Yeah? That new age stuff. Oh, you are the guys. Oh, conspiracy theories. Now they will start going in circles. Now you can imagine. Me, I'm awakened. I see them. Even sometimes I hear them, and I've never judged them. I've never been on this channel and I've started blasting religious people, these and what. No, 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 no. I've been in a Christian family. I studied in Christian schools. Some few times I read the Bible. Even sometimes I can give you a little bit of Bible scriptures because there's some scriptures which resonate with spirituality. But when you see these religious people, the way they are blasting awakened people, spiritual people, oh, New Age, conspiracy theorists, they are this, they are satanists, it's occultism, everything. They will talk, and then they will talk, and then they will talk. I'm watching. So sometimes they will judge you. They will say, oh, you don't believe in Jesus. Oh, this and that. They were going to talk. And some of them don't even realize they are priests, they are pastors, they're religious narcissists. They don't know. They don't even realize that they have in their churches that they say, whatever church they're believing in, their own churches and pastor, priests, they are religious narcissists. And you'll hear them fighting with you. You are the one with the truth. They are going to fight with you with your truth because that's the only, they don't understand anything outside their religion. They don't understand what you say. There are some people here, they come, oh, Allah, you have to read the Quran, you have to become a Muslim, and Allah, and everything. And then you find another one, the Bible says in the book of Matthew and the book of this, you have to read, you don't follow Jesus. You're not born again, so you're not going to heaven. So me, I'm watching. I'm here watching. And I don't judge them. I'm listening. It's okay. You say, oh, I just watch. I listen. I go on with what I'm doing. I continue enlightening people. And then after some time, like 5 weeks, maybe 5 months, 4 months, they are coming back and they say, oh, we are getting it now. We're starting to understand what you're saying. They are now waking up because they understand, this person has been the real deal all along. So it's why I'm telling you, you let people come into that awareness on their own. Tell them a little bit what they need to know. But the real awareness should be natural. It can come on its own. Divine timing. I used to call it divine timing. I used to say spiritual awakening is divine intervention. I did a video on that, you know. I know. I fully understand this divine intervention. But many people don't understand. On this channel, I have people from Dubai. I have people from Saudi Arabia. There's some people watching me from different religions. Some people is Hinduist, some people is Buddhist, some people is Protestant, some people is Muslim. I have people that follow me from different faiths. And they don't come here to discuss religion. They just come here to get enlightened. Maybe they see things I'm saying, it resonates with them, and they start to pick up a little bit. I don't talk about their religion. They don't talk about my spirituality, but they learn. Because if you really think I should be religious, there's even somebody who told me that, oh, why don't you quote the Bible scriptures? And I just told them, this is not a religious channel. So here, if it was a religious channel, we could be reading Bible scriptures. Sometimes we have, you know, a lot of these. But because this is a different channel, this is a spiritual channel. We talk about awareness, enlightenment, next level stuff. We don't talk about scriptures and religion. There's times when you may hear me, because I grew up I told you that I grew up in a Christian school. That's where I studied when I was young. So there are sometimes when I'm like, okay, I remember the story of Jesus when this and this and this happened. I may give you one phrase that I remember back in the years, because it resonates with the video that I'm trying to make. Okay? But you see, nobody criticizes an awakened person like a religious person. A person that has been soaked into religion, those people, they are going to criticize you like no man's business. But I've never seen a spiritual person criticizing religious people. Because spirituality, we understand we are all one. We are all connected. We see others, things, and people as an extended version of us. You see, spirituality is all about union, unity. Religion is about separation. So a religious person will hate me and they will say I'm demonic because I don't read about Bible, I don't mention any scriptures, I don't talk about Jesus. They're going to say he's demonic, he's evil. That person, oh, don't follow him. He doesn't believe in Christ. But I've never told him there's a religious channel. And as well as they are coming here and he's learning some things, very powerful things. He's learning how to be free from his narcissistic parent. I'm the one teaching him. He did not learn how to break free from a narcissistic parent in his church. I'm the one teaching him how to break free from a narcissistic parent. Then he says demonic. So you see the difference between why some people, they sometimes don't understand you. You can't save everyone, chosen ones. Because people are used to the road, the most popular road, the road that all the ships are following, okay? 1,000 ships will be walking that direction. So when they see you, you're walking the other way, they all go to laugh at you. Look at that one, they're going the other side. He must be crazy. You know, he must be, he don't know what is going on. Look at him going the other side. But those sheep are actually going to the slaughterhouse. They're all moving to the slaughterhouse. They don't know they are sheep. They're moving to the slaughterhouse. You're walking this side, you're one or two of you, maybe three of you, and they're all laughing at you. Look at them, they're stupid. They're going the other side, the other direction. But you have already seen they're going to the slaughterhouse. That's why you took a diversion. You said, okay, you guys carry on, I'm going to walk this way. So you're going to become the the crazy one. Enlightenment is not for everybody. It's for the ones that are ready. Hello, go, guy, I see you. There was someone else here. So there was a time, I remember, I normally don't want to talk about these things, but sometimes, maybe it's a good thing to share. I have a lot of stories, it's just because some of them I don't want to share with you. So I used to be very confused. There was a time when I was going through difficult times and I wanted to find out about God. I was looking for God. So whenever I would sit down by myself, I was thinking, so where can I find God? Where is the best place I can go and find God and I can worship God and I can feel that this place has God? I was looking for God. For many years, this thing took me like 3 years. I was very serious with life. I wanted to find out where is God. I want to know the proper way. When I go to the Protestant church, I'm confused. When I go to this church and then that church, then this way, then that religion, I was just confused. I wanted to find out where is the proper one, which one's the right way. So I went to a Pentecost church. One time I was talking to my friend, there's a Pentecost church, and you can come and, worship and that. So I said, okay, show me direction, whatever. Put on my shoes. Sunday, I was there. So I'm sitting down, I'm listening. They are preaching, they preach, and I'm watching everything. I'm watching, I'm listening. I'm paying attention to detail. And then, so as we are about to finish, this man says, we're about to wind up. So if you want to stay behind, you want me to pray for you, you can go and make a line over there, and we're going to meet in my office. So I was curious. I said, okay, I want somebody to pray for me. I've been looking for God all these years. So let me stay behind. I want him to go and pray for me. That's what the pastor said. So we was in a line, one by one, go to the office. So there was a man who was outside. He said, so the ones who have 1 million, how many have 1 million? I said, what? So some few people raised their hands. There was like 5 of them. Okay, all of you come. And they was going in the office separately. Are we together? So you see what this religion has been taking people. Then these people will finish, they went out, they were okay. So the ones who have 800,000, 700,000, a few people raised their hands. Okay, all of you, they came in a group, they went in the office for their prayers. So they started going down and down and down and down and down. So now I'm sitting down there. And I'm thinking, so am I paying for prayers? I have to pay to go inside to pray for me. I need to pay for the prayers. So the pastor needs to pray. You pay. Then you go inside his office and he will give you some special prayers inside his office secretly, slowly. Like it wasn't making sense. So fortunately at the time, or I could say fortunate or unfortunate, it rained. It was raining. So eventually I couldn't go home because, nobody wanted to walk in the rain. So I said, okay, let me just stand here. So I went around the church and I stood on the veranda. So I'm there with some buddies. We are chatting a little bit, the service was good. This and this, we're talking about this. Okay. So there's a window next to me. That window was open. So in the window, what I didn't know, it was that small office that the pastor was using to collect money from people who was coming in for prayers. So I'm listening to everything. I'm hearing things. So they are figuring around. So how much did you make today? They are counting. There are some other people with guns. Some other what do they call those people? They are ushers, and then there are some other. There was like 4 people in that room, and then there was one bodyguard with a gun. The one was supposedly protecting the pastor. So I'm thinking that the man of God needs somebody with a gun to protect him. This man of God is moving around with somebody with a gun. So they are here figuring around. They are trying to correct. So how much did we make today? So they noticed I was at the window because me actually I didn't even know there was something going on in there. So they noticed that I was at the window. So when they noticed somebody was at the window, because it was raining, so they didn't pay attention to what was going on outside. But somebody saw that I was standing next to the window. And I was one of the guys in the line. So they came and very quickly shut the window and pulled the curtains. I never went back to that church. Only for me to discover many years later, the God that I was always looking for in churches up and down, the God was always living inside of me. All these years we spent looking for God up and down, the God has always been inside of us. The God lives within us. We grew up thinking that the God was in the sky somewhere there hiding, so we pray and we are shouting because God was inside us all this whole time. We need a pastor, we need a middleman, we need somebody to put his hand on our head and pray for us. You don't even know who is praying for you. The God has always been inside of us. It was us that needed to remember to know the right way to pray. There has been things that we didn't know. Nuta Atreya. Dzień dobry. Jak się masz? Co słychać? Gdzie mieszkasz? So we have somebody from Warsaw. Ursus. Woche. Złote terasy. Złote terasy. We can go on and on. So So guys, please share this live. I know that many of you guys just came in. You can help me to share these things with your people and let other people get the messages. You see, as we learn here, the best we can do is to share this content with other people so they also get these messages. Because there are some other people that are not on this channel. They're not on the platform. So you never know, maybe it may be one message they need to help them on their journey. So when you share, you do me a very big favor. Doom Brush. I've always been here. I've been around. So for many of you guys who don't know, I have a TikTok account and I also go live on TikTok. So I was live today, actually. So if you can go there to follow me on TikTok, there's a most you can't miss TikTok. You will see my channel there, my page. So the videos are different. I might go live here, we talk about different things. On TikTok, we might be talking about something different. And as always, of course, share, please like. If you haven't subscribed, please hit the subscribe button. Anthony, I see you. Mokotov, oh, okay. Mokotov, Geshkawam Mokotov, Pienshesh Latem. Nie. 10, 11 lat temu mieszkam w Mokotowie. Ja mówię trochę po polsku. So you see, guys, and you see, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something about content. You see these things we share with you guys. Did you actually know that you may just need only one word to set you free? Just one, not two, not three. You may not even need the whole video. You may need only one word to set you free. Is why I call this channel Setting Empaths Free. Because I know it is one word that set me free. Narcissist, that's it. The rest is history. The word narcissist, only one. When I heard that word and I understood what it was, I was free. So it's why sometimes you hear me talking about share these things. You never know. They may be seeing somebody there somewhere. They are struggling. They are going through it. They don't know what is happening. So you share the video with them. The video could meet them at the right time. And they may just need hear only one thing that they need to set them free, to break free. Just one word. you know? So God lives within us. The moment I understood that, I stopped looking too hard. Do you know how many churches I used to move up and down, one church after the other one? I go this way, I move the other one, I try this one, I move this way. The God I was looking for all along was inside of me. And I used to think that I needed a middleman to put their hands on my head, to pray for me to the God that I could do myself. So as you see, when I do, for example, when I do videos, just do post and do and post. It's okay. I've always done that, no big deal. But I mean, I'm thinking that these lives give us a chance to actually even know who my subscribers are, because there's sometimes I can do a video, for example, they may have like 5,000, 3,000 viewers. But here now I can have a chance to even know who is actually watching my channel. Because you see on the videos, I don't know who is watching. Sometimes I may not even see a comment, or I may see or may not. I don't even know who liked. But here, I have a chance now to see who actually is following me, you see? So there's this kind of live interaction with followers. It's a different energy altogether, and I think it's a good idea. Brenda Wilson. Hello, Brenda Wilson. Brenda, long time. Brenda, we had a session. It's a long time, 2 years ago, I think. It's a very long time ago. I never heard from you again. How are you? How has things been? How are you coping? Denzo, when you was with the narcissist. Let me read this question actually. Under the narcissist you dealt with, did you develop fear and resentment? Falls them? If yes, how did you get past it? So you're talking about fear. Fear, yes, I had a lot of fear. But the fear was not when I left. The fear was when I was still inside the relationship. And the fear that I had, it was connected to insecurity, low self-esteem. So I used to fear that, because I used to hear some things, for example, such as, if you leave, you cannot get anybody better than me. So I was brainwashed over time to think that that was true. If you leave, you cannot survive without me. If you leave, such and such will happen. If you leave, this and this will happen. So I didn't know that actually my freedom was beyond those limitations. Because if I could get past those limitations of the conditioning I used to believe, to hear, beyond that was actually my freedom. So I had fear of, at the time I had fear of not being wanted, not being liked, not being appreciated. I had fear to be alone. How was I going to handle the loneliness after this relationship? So there was fear, yes, there was fear, because I think for the most of the victims of abuse, that's what they do. So they tie you up in that frequency of fear. So you always fight, what do they call it? Fight or flight, something, fight or flight. You always fight on flight mode because you're always fearful. That's how they condition you to be fearful of everything. You're worried about running up and down, who is going to like you, you cannot be alone, and this and that. And then, yes, resentment. There was resentment in the beginning. When I left, there was resentment because I didn't pretty much like the experience. But I think I kind of healed past that, you see, because healing makes you realize that it was not personal. You know, healing makes you realize that this whole narcissistic abuse wasn't personal. It was never personal. He was just dealing with an emotional, immature little child in an adult body, underdeveloped child. So, and you also understand that it has always been a battle for your energy. But now that you understand what it is, and of course you have done the work to heal yourself, to be better, you get past that. You're no longer worried about whatever happened in that. You know, you've learned the lessons, you've graduated from the lessons, so you're no longer in that energy of trying to figure everything out. And, you know, so there was fear and resentment. But how I got past it was healing. I had to do the healing work on myself. So there was a lot of healing I used to do, okay? So Brenda, you're still decluttering after 2 years. What are you decluttering after 2 years, Brenda? I've moved around a little bit. I speak some languages, you know. So you guys, if you are there trying to gossip about me, I might pick up on your language. So you have to gossip slowly. I might catch up on your language. You may not think I know what you're saying. It wasn't personal. It wasn't personal. Narcissistic abuse wasn't personal. You know, it is only effective when you don't know who you are, when you're still asleep. That's when you feel it. You get very personal with it, you know, the resentment. But when you heal and you understand what it is, it's not personal. It was just energy transaction experience. Somebody was actually siphoning your energy. It was just somebody that was siphoning your energy while you were sleeping, while you wasn't paying attention. But now that you're healed, you are empowered, it can never happen again. I do not know anybody that has healed from narcissistic abuse and they're dating a narcissist. If you're dating a narcissist after healing, you don't know what time it is. You never healed in the first place. You cannot heal and you go back to date a narcissist. It's not possible. it's not possible. When you heal, you go for the better ones. You go for somebody that is healthy. Real people like you. You don't want to date NPCs. You've suffered so many years with these NPCs, they've been harvesting your energy. So when you heal, you start dating real people. Look for the real people with real souls. Narcissism is generational. So you really think that your father was the first narcissist in their family? You walk back in time, you will see. Your grandfather was the same thing. The great-grand one was the same thing. It was just a repeated cycle. Until your father, and then now when it was your generation, you are the one that was the first one to recognize the cycle. So you are the one who becomes the breaker. You are the one that breaks the cycle. So it's generational. It has been moving on from one generation after the other one. Okay? But the whole intention from the beginning was always about energy. The cycle has been repeating until it ran into you. Are we together? So, Krypton says, I have vowed to be celibate. Krypton, you can find somebody when you meet. There is empaths that are looking for love, Even here, there's some empaths here who are looking for love. They are there. There are people who have your energy, similar energy. They want relationships. They are looking for love. So in the future, when I go live, you put your state, where you live, country, and you write the word love. People will follow up. The ones in the chat, they will follow up. They will know what's going on, and they will try to catch up with you. You write your state, and you write love on the side. Your state, and write love on the side. So you might even find out there's somebody in your town next door. But I don't advise you when you're healing, don't look for love when you're still healing. Take your time to heal first. It's very, very important. The cycle of narcissistic abuse breaks the moment you wake up and understand what it is. That's when it breaks. It has no power over you. It's when you break the cycle, you break the bond, the trauma bond. The moment you get awareness of what it is, that's when it breaks. And then the healing starts to happen. Because you see, healing cannot happen when you're still trauma bonded. You first of all break out of the cycle, then the healing starts to happen. So for the most of you guys who are here, there's a video on today. I've just read that video like 2 hours ago. It's about monitoring spirits. So you can go there. It's a fresh video. You can go there to watch it. And the ones that have been on live here with us, I thank you for participating. I thank you for, I've been reading the comments. I've been seeing the love, the super chats. So I do appreciate each and every one of you. Remember, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget, if you want to book a session, you will see the email there. Support or donate. The links are there on the screen. And I'll get back to you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow we shall have a fresh subject that we shall be talking about. I'll try to make it a little bit late so more people can come in. So let's say around 6-ish, 5-ish, 6-ish. So it's now 8. So just keep on the lookout. Make sure that your notifications are turned on, because you see, when I'm going live, it can only appear to the ones with you. So you have to put the notifications on, because if you don't, then you're going to miss the lives. Okay? So turn on the notifications and keep on the lookout. It's going to be tomorrow around pretty much the same time, or more or less. So thank you for participating, and I will see you guys in the next video. Okay? Peace.